Good morning, dear students. How are you? Today we are going to start a new chapter, as we have already had a discussion on the on Saturday that in the Zoom class that we are going to start a new chapter, that is the large numbers, that is chapter number 3 from Monday onwards. Fine. So students, here just before beginning the chapter, I wanted to say a few of the things that we have a little bit less time in our hand because we need to complete this particular chapter number 3, large numbers, and it is little bit a larger one. Though you say the name is large numbers, but actually if you see, the content is also large. Fine. So we have to complete it on time also, and because we are going to have a PT1 exam, fine, in the month of July. So for the PT1 exam, there will be the these three chapter will be the syllabus. That is, first one was the shapes, second one is the pattern, and the third one is this one, large number. So students, we need to go little bit fast. I will not go fast, actually I will go exactly how I was used to, but the thing is I have to make some the video little bit longer. Fine. Like last time I have given you 2 videos at the same day, part 1 and part 2, and I have finished the pattern chapter. Since we have less time in our hands, so I need to do, maybe I will not make 2 videos, but 1 video only I will upload, but that may be a little bit longer one. Fine. So students, please take care of that. So let us go ahead with the chapter. So students, please be ready with your textbook. Today we are not going to take that workbook. Of course we have to use the textbook. So students, please take out the textbook, and the textbook, the page number 35. Page number 35, everyone, please take it out. See chapter 3, large numbers. So students, when you are writing, now you have to write down the chapter number from a new page. You start in your school copy, write chapter number 3, name of the chapter, that is large numbers, today's date also you give it there. Fine, that is 8th of June. Now students, let us see what will be the objective of this chapter. That means what we are going to learn in this particular chapter. So this all you have to write down, copy it down immediately after when you see this video and complete this video. Immediately you note it down all this detail in your school copy. Fine. This should be the beginning of every chapter, because before beginning of the chapter we need to always know that what we are going to learn in that particular chapter. So students, if you see the objective, there will be basically, if you say 4 objectives will be there in this chapter. Let us see one by one. Don't worry, I will send a picture of this so that you can easily note it down. First is to learn how to read and write 6-digit, 7-digit and 8-digit number. Now students, basically this topic is about large numbers, as we know, as the name says itself. So the numbers that you got until class 4, you got till say 5-digit number you got. So now obviously we have to go ahead more than that, and that will be 6-digit, 7-digit, 8-digit. Fine. So this will be a little bit about large numbers. Now how to read and how to write. Read is mean, suppose a large number is given, say the population of a country or population of a state, it is given, and you need to say to somebody that how much it's value. See the objective. What is the application of this objective? I am telling you, if you do not know how to read or write a large number of 6, 7 or 8 digit, then what will be the problem you face? What kind of problem you will face in the practical life or day-to-day life? If somebody asks you about the population of any state or any country, what will happen? That will be a very large number, because we know the population usually it is a large one of any country or state. So if we have to read it, if you do not know how to read it, then it will be a problem for you or not, isn't it? Because you will not be able to answer it. Suppose you are giving a quiz also. In the quiz, suppose somebody asks you this question, the quiz master asks you about this question, that what is the population of the state, this one. So at that time, if you are not able to even remember the number is this 6, 7, 5, 7, 8, 9, something like that. But if you are not able to speak it, that how much it is, that will be a problem. Fine. So students, this is the objective. Don't think that this objective is only for writing the answer in your exam. We are not talking about just only to the questions will come in exam. Please write the number name or write the number in words, and you have to learn for that. It's not like that. you are learning this particular topic for your practical life, practical day-to-day life, where in day-to-day life we are dealing with some large numbers, very large numbers. Fine. So that is the first one, that how to read and write the number. If you know how to read it, you will be able to write it also, because that has to be converted into words. Fine. Second objective is about the Indian and international system of numeration. Now students, in India here we are using the Indian system. Indian system means basically we use lakhs, we use crores. Fine. So those things these are the units that we use to show a large number, to read a large number, write a large number. But in abroad, you can say outside India, in international level, they do not use lakhs, they do not use crores. Instead, they use million, they use billion. Now, in fact, our population, as of now, the country, India, how much the population is, it is how much it is. If you say this, it is 130 billion. So then, how much you are going to say? That is how you are going to say it in Indian, and how you are going to say it in. You can say if it is 130 crore. Sorry, it's not 130 billion. Say 130 crore. Now 130 crore population. If we have to read it in international, because if you say the population of India is 130 crore, here everybody will understand. Suppose you are not here. Suppose you are somewhere outside India. And if you say the population of India is 130 crore, then maybe some of the people from outside, they may not be able to understand that how much exactly the figure is. So because they use a different system, that is the international system. So students, you are now, as of now you are in India, maybe after a few years you may be somewhere else also. So because of that, we should know that what is an Indian system and what is an international system, so that we can use it anywhere. Fine. If it is required Indian or if it is required international. Third one is about how to compare and arrange number. Now students, how to compare and arrange number means it's a very easy concept. If I give you two numbers, say those are large numbers only, and you need to say which one is greater, which one is smaller. So what you will do? There should be a system, isn't it? There should be a, you can say, by looking at the number first, you need to decide, okay, so this is the system through which I can find out that this is greater, this is smaller. So that is called comparing, that how to compare two numbers, or not two only, 3, 4, 5. And the arrange means, or ordering also, you can see in the book it's written ordering. Ordering and arranging is the same. There will be two types of arranging. One will be ascending order. Ascending means smaller to larger. And there will be the second one, that is descending. I hope you already know these two words. Descending means larger to smaller, coming down. Fine. So there will be two types of arrangement, or ascending or descending order of numbers. So that will be the third one, third objective. And the last objective is about Roman and Indo-Arabic numeral. What is Roman numeral and what is? I think you already got Roman numeral at least in last year. But Hindu-Arabic numeral we are already using. Whatever numbers we are using now, those are only Hindu-Arabic numerals. But about Roman numerals, we will learn some of the basic things, or some of the detailed discussions we will do in this particular chapter. But that is the last topic, student. So that we will come to know towards the last or the end of this chapter. Now students, you have to write this objective in your school copy. As I said, below that you need to write this also, that is the keywords. Keywords means what are the important words that you are going to get, important terms. Face value, place value, successor, predecessor. Face value is what, place value, successor, all these words you already got. Because these are not a new topic, it's an old topic, but still these words carry a very, you can say very significance, or you can say it's a very important word, you can say these four terms. So that's why I have kept them as a keyword for this chapter. Fine. So students, let us go ahead with the chapter content now. So we will go ahead with the textbook. So I request everyone to open the page number 35. So I will send this page, I already said I will send this immediately after the video. Now students, one thing also I just wanted to say, that suppose if you want to write something, I will not repeat it every time. Now only I am saying, if you want to write something that you want to write down in your copy, some important point, because I will explain everything, I cannot ask you to write down this, write down that. If you think that this is important, I should write it down, immediately pause the video and write it down in your copy. Fine, that is completely up to you. Fine, because there will be some important points also which you have to write down time to time in between. So students, let us see, first one, it is given in page number 35, please read it. First one is given concept 3.1, that is Indian and international systems of numeration. So we are going to start with the topic. It is given, I recall, that is a recalling part is there. That is, we know how to read and write 5-digit number. That was the topic for last year, that is class 4, that how to read and write a 5-digit number. Now the next topic, that is the next sentence, says that the places of a 5-digit number are ones, tens, 100, 1,000 and 10,000. So students, we already know this thing from last year itself, that here if I say that what will be the place value table for a 5-digit number, that will be ones, then will be tens, then there will be hundreds, then there will be thousands, and then there will be 10,000. So if suppose any number, if I put here say 5, 6, 3, 2 and say 4. So this is a 5-digit number. Each digit here will carry its own place values. This is 4 10,000s. This is 4 10,000s. So 4 10,000s means 4 into 10,000, and that will be how much? 40,000. So that means you can say the place value of 4 here is, since it is sitting in the 10,000 place, so the place value of 4 will be 4 into 10,000, because to find out place value we need to multiply the digit with its place. Fine. Now let us take this 2. This is 2,000. Now 2,000, to get the place value, I will multiply 2 into 1,000 and that will give you 2,000. Then 300s. 300s, it will be 3 into 100, then it will be 300, because 3 is sitting in the hundreds place. Fine. Then finally 6 tens. 6 tens means it is 6 into 10 and that will be equal to 60. And finally 5 ones. 5 ones means 5 into 1 and that will be 5. So student, this is the way how we can find out the place value. Place value of the digits in a particular number. So every digit will carry different place value, and this is the way how you need to find out the place value of a number. But students, you need to remember these places. That first one, from, if we say from right hand side, what is the first place, second, third, fourth, fifth, like that it will go on. So you need to remember ones, tens, 100, 1,000, 10,000. This is the recalling part, student, that already we know. Fine, that is the place value. Now we already also know about the successor and predecessor. Now successor and predecessor. Now students, before going to it, you can write it down, students, if you want. Now before going to the next topic, I just wanted to inform one more thing, that is about place value, as I said. Now I just wanted to inform, that is what is face value. Now student, about face value, if I say face value of 4, what is the face value of 4? It will be 4 only. What is the face value of 2 in this number? That will be 2 only. Face value of 3, it will be 3 only. Face value of 6, it will be 6, and face value of 5, it will be 5 only. That means what you understood from here is that face value, to get the face value, you no need to multiply anything. You no need to do anything at all actually. You need to simply write the same digit only. That means if I ask you what is the face value, plus be sure about the place value and face value, what is asked in the question. Place value is different, face value is different. Place value is the value, that how much the value the digit carries in that particular position. Say it is in the 10,000 place, so 4 into 10,000, that will be 40,000, and that will be the place value of 4. But what will be the face value of 4? That will be 4 only. No need to change anything. The digit itself will be the face value. Similarly, phase value of all these digits will be itself only. That is, phase value of 2 is 2, 3 is 3, 6 is 6, 5 is 5. No need to change anything. Phase value means the digit itself only, nothing to do anything else you need to do there. Fine. So that is about place value and phase value. Okay. Now we will go ahead with the successor and predecessor concept. Successor means, students, say suppose, what is the successor? Say successor of, if I say 10. To get the successor of 10, what we do? We need to add 1 with 10 and then we will get 11. So 11 is the successor of 10. Then if I say what is the predecessor of, say, 20. What is the predecessor of 20? To get the predecessor of 20, we need to subtract 1 and that will be 19. So that means to get the successor, we add 1 with the number. That is the next number. Exactly what the next number comes, that is the successor of the previous number. And the number which is exactly just before that number. Say suppose 20, what is just before 20? 19. That is, we get it by subtracting 1. So 19 will be the predecessor of 20. So successor means, to find out what is successor, we do plus 1 with the number, and to get the predecessor we do subtract 1, that is we do minus 1. It is 1 less and 1 more, you can say. Fine. So that is also we know. So you can see in the page number 36, students, it is already given. There is a table is given. In that table you can say predecessor, number and successor. So minus 1, plus 1, and in the center the number is there, which is the original number. Now students, we need to go ahead with the main topic, that is the I remember and understand. So here you need to learn some of the new things here. Fine. So let us go ahead with that. So what we are going to get here is, say the largest 5-digit number is 99,999. In the last year also we got the largest 5-digit number. How to get the largest 5-digit number? Simply put 5 times 9. How to get the largest 4-digit number? 4 times 9 you put. So since 9 is the greatest digit out of 0 to 9, to make any greatest number, you need to repeat that many 9 only. If you need 4 digit, 4 9, 5 digit, 5 9. So this is a 5-digit number, and 5-digit number, it is the greatest number because all are 99,999. So students, if you see, if we add 1 with this, so what we will get? This is the greatest 3-digit number. Sorry, 5-digit number. So it is greatest. It is the greatest 5-digit number, isn't it? So what will be the successor of this? If I add 1 with this, what I will get? 9 plus 1 10. Then 9 plus 1 10, 9 plus 1 10, 9 plus 1 10, 9 plus 1 10. So finally we will get this. Now how much it is? If you see, is how many digits it has? It has 6 digits. 5 times 0 and 1. So now we got a 6-digit number. That means when our discussion till last year was up to 99,999. We have not crossed that limit. It is the border. Now you are crossing the border now. That means we are adding 1 and we entered to a new state, you can say, after crossing the border. And that is about the 6-digit number. Now here it is, you can say it is a 6-digit number, and this will be the smallest. It will be the smallest 6-digit number, because we know how to get a smallest number. If I need 5-digit smallest number, what I will do? I will write 4 zeros, and in the left hand side I will put 1. So that will become the 5-digit smallest, because smallest digits, which are the smallest digit? 0, but I cannot put all the 0. 5 0 means it will become 5-digit smallest number, or what? 5 times 0 if I put, it will not have any value, because 0 does not have any value. So I have to put 1. So here also you see there is a number, but here all are 0 except the left hand side digit, that is 1. So obviously it will be the smallest number. Smallest how much digit? Smallest 6-digit number, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because it has 6 digits. Now this is the smallest 6-digit number, and this is how much actually, students? This is 1 lakh. So we have got till 10,000 place. 50,000, 60,000, 80,000, 90,000. We got like that in the last year. But now we are entering into a new area, and that is the lakhs. So this is the 1 lakh. And how we get 1 lakh? When we 1 lakh is the smallest 6-digit number. And how we get it? If we add 1 with the greatest 5-digit number. That means you can say this is the successor of the greatest 5-digit number. That means the greatest smallest 6-digit number is the successor of the greatest 5-digit number. Interesting fact, that is fine. So students, if we say like that, we will continue here like this, and if we add some of the numbers again with this 1 lakh, we get some large numbers, but that will be 5-digit number only. So now if we say, if this is the smallest 6-digit number, 1 lakh, what will be the greatest 6-digit number? Now we will come to this. Greatest 6-digit. Now greatest 6-digit number, since here it is a smallest, so we are writing 0 5 times and 1 on the left hand side. To write a greatest, we always repeat 9 only, and 9 I will repeat how many times? How many digits we need? Since we need 6 digits, so I will write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this will be the greatest 6-digit number. Now here, students, if I add again 1, what I will get? So it will 9 plus 1 10. Again here also, if you add, we will get this. Now students, you see how many digits we got here. If we say properly, how many digits we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means we will have 2 1 0. 1 has come extra. Yes. Now students, if you see this, how many digits it is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6-digit greatest number. If I add 1, I am now getting smallest 7-digit number, like the previous one. If I am adding 1 with the greatest 5-digit number, I get the smallest 6-digit number. If I add 1 with the greatest 6-digit number, I get the smallest 7-digit number. So this is a pattern actually going on. So if you add 1 with the greatest one, you get a smallest one. But the number of digits changes. 5-digit number will become 6-digit. 6-digit number will become the 7-digit. Similarly, 7-digit number will become the 8-digit. Fine. So that is actually these are the numbers, that the larger numbers we are going to get here. That is about, you can say 6-digit, 7-digit, 8-digit. So if I get this one, what will be the greatest 7-digit number? The greatest 7-digit number will be 7 times 9, like this. If I add 1 with this, what I will get? I will get a different one. That means I will get the smallest 8-digit number. Fine. Now students, this 7-digit, 8-digit, read them. Now this is a concept that you should know, that how this 6-digit, 7-digit, 8-digit numbers are coming. When we add 1 with them, then we get. When we add 1 with the smallest, greatest numbers, then we get the smallest number, which is the having the next one, that is the next level. You can say 5-digit will become the 6-digit number. We will enter into the 6-digit area. 6-digit number, if I add 1, the greatest 6-digit number, if we add 1 with that, then we will enter into the 7-digit area number. Then the number will become the smallest 7-digit. So like that. Now the main concept is to how to read and write these numbers. That is how to read a 7-digit, 6-digit numbers. So let us try to find out that one first. So students, till 10,000 we know already. Fine. So now we have to go for 8 digits. So let us go ahead with that. First I will write ones, then tens, then, so I will write in short. Okay, this H means this is 100. Then TH means it is 1000. Then 10,000. Now till here you already got last year. Now the new series will come. After 10,000 students, we get lakh. That is the 1 lakh category. Then we will get 10 lakhs. 10 and L means lakh. So 10 lakhs. So like that, 1000 is there, 10,000 is there. Lakh is there, 10 lakh is there. So how many digits we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we will get one more, and that will be the crore. CRORE, crore. So now this will be the crore. Similarly, it will be 10 crore also. Now crore is here, we can say 10 crore also we can get. TC means 10 crore, fine. So if I put this as some table, if I make it as a table form. So students, please write down this table, okay? Now I am going to put some digits here, okay? And we will try to read them. How to? First, I will not take a very large number. Say I will take a 6-digit number first. I will take. So always the number I will start from the right hand side to write to become a 6-digit or 7-digit, or I can start from here also, no problem. Say here if I put 2, 5, 7, 3, 6, 9. Let us take this number. What will be the number name of this? Number name is how you are going to read it. So if somebody has asked you to read this number, so can you read it like 2, 5, 7, 3, 6, 9? Not possible. You have to read it properly, how much this is. So what we were going to do is this way. So students, please see this very carefully. This number I am writing here below. Now here, since we are talking about now Indian system, fine, we will learn about the international after this part. First we will go ahead with the Indian. How Indian system works, let us see that first. In Indian system, we already know this is called which period? This is called ones period. Fine. This too is called what period? This is called thousands period. Thousands period. So obviously student, these two places, since there is no place, no digit is here, 10 lakhs place is not there, so it will be blank, but this place will be known as what period? This will be lakhs period. That means we have got 2 period till now, that is the first 3 digit is considered as a ones period. The next 2 digit is considered as the thousands period. And students, in Indian system, what we do? First after ones period we put a comma. Why we put comma? Because we have separated this 3 digit. This is end of the ones period. Then after 2 digit again we put a comma. It means that the thousands period is also over. Now lakhs period is there. So lakhs period also 2 digit will come, since lakhs have 2 place, 1 lakh and 10 lakh. So after this again we will put 1 comma. And then again what will come? Crores will come, that is 1 crore and 10 crore. Since it is not there, so we will check it later. Let us try to read this number now. Since this is sitting in which period? It is in the lakhs period. But it is in which lakh? 1 lakh or 10 lakh? It is only 1 lakh, so that means you can say it is 2 lakh only. Fine, since it is 2, single 2. So this is 2. So how I will read it now? First, whenever we read a number, we have to read it from the left hand side. So this will be 2. So in words, if I say, I am not going to write in numbers. This is single 2 and it is sitting in the lakhs period. So I have to read like 2 lakhs. Fine. So I have read the lakhs period. So it is done. Now I will come to this thousands period. Thousands period, 2 digits are there. If suppose this 2 digit only I consider, what is the number? This is 57. Can you see that? This is 57. So I will write what? I will write like this 57. But is it enough to write only 57? No. Why? Because 57 is sitting in which period? 1000. So I have to write 57,000. 57,000 I have to write. And then finally the ones period together I have to read, because since it is 1 period only, okay, together 3 digits making 1 period only. So this has to be read together, which is very easy, 369. So we will write it 369. So students, finally we have completed the number name of this particular number. So how I have done it? It's very easy, student. You need to only learn the period, properly the period for Indian system. First 3 digit, put a comma or period. Next 2 digit, put a comma. Next 2 digit, put a comma. Then you have to start from the left hand side. So this is ones period, this is thousands period, this is lakhs period. Now here it is, since in the lakhs period 2 is there only, so that will be 2 lakhs. But here students, do not put comma. In words, when we write, we do not put comma. Only we put comma when we write in numbers. Fine. So 2 lakhs is there. Then after that thousands category, what is the number? 57. So it will be 57. Then finally 369. So simply write 369, because this already we got in class 3 itself, isn't it? So students, let us try to write one number which is, it is a 6 digit. Now let us try a 7 digit number. So 7 digit number, if I write, I am writing here, say now 3, 4, 5, 2, 9, 6, 7. Yes. Now let us try to read this number. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is having 7 digits. Now I will write down the number first here. 7, 6, 9, 2, 5, 4, 3. First of all, student, let us put the comma. That is very important. First 3 place, put a comma. Then 2 place, put a comma. And then 2 place, put a comma. But here there is no number, so leave it. Now let us read the number according to its periods. This is what number? 76. And 76 is sitting in which period? In the lakhs period. So we have to write this is will be 70 lakhs. Done. The next is how much? 92. So that means we need to read it as 92. It is sitting in the thousands period. So it will be 92,000. And finally the last one is the 3 digit, that is 543. So it will be how much? It will be 76 lakhs, then 92,000, then 543. So say students, it's very easy to read a number, especially a large number, if you go by its periods. First you write down the number. If the in question, in exam, suppose the commas are not given, you put the comma by yourself. Then you can easily separate them. Students, I am telling you, the major mistake a student do is what? They do not put the comma and they try to read the number or write the number. That is the biggest mistake of students, as I have seen in last several years. If the period or commas are not given in the question, you do it by yourself. Nobody will cut marks for that. You put the commas first according to the period. First 3 digit, that is the ones period, then 2 digit, thousands period, then 2 digit, lakhs period, and then 2 digit, the crores period. Then you read the number by its period. Like this, this number, every period you consider as a single number. This is lakh. So we will say 76, and where it is sitting? In the lakhs. So write 76 lakhs. This is what number? 92. But where it is sitting? In thousands category. So you have to write 92 thousands. And finally the last 3 digit, that is 543. So it's become so easy to read also, to write also in words. Fine. So students, hope I am able to make you understand this particular thing, how to read a 6 digit and 7 digit. Now similarly you can say take example of a 8 digit also. 8 digit, then the category will come here and it will be the 1 crore place. So the starting will be 1 crore. If 2 digit will be here, then it will be, say suppose 5 and 6 is here, that will be 56, and that will be 56 crores. Then the rest of the thing will be accordingly similar. So we will go ahead with this, students, not now. Today we have done till 10 lakhs. In the next class we will go ahead with the crores place also, and we will try to read and write some of the number names, large number names. We will try to read it out. Fine. So students, please note it down properly how I have done it. Okay, pause the video and do it. And for you today I am going to give you a very small homework. Okay, I will not say very small, but I will try to give you some homeworks, and that you need to just do and send it to me on the assigned time. So students, today is Monday. Thursday, let's say when we will be able to do the next Zoom class. Okay, so we will accordingly do. And Saturday also, students, if I say, since we need to complete the syllabus, what we will going to do is, Saturday we have normal Mindspark class, but usually what I do, I give the worksheet by 10 o'clock only, 10 to 10:30 to solve. Fine. That half an hour time, 9:30 to 10, what we are going to do, because in Mindspark, it's not that you have to do on Saturday only. Mindspark 2 you can do it any day. There is no actually specific time for that. Fine. So you can do it any day. I'm telling you one thing, 9:30 to 10, I will share you the video of our own topic. That is the topic of the textbook or the workbook, what we are going to do now. Then we will get 3 days in a week, Monday, Thursday, Saturday. As soon as my video will be over, suppose the video is also not over also, you stop it. Pause it here or stop it there. At 10 o'clock, you go for the Mindspark. Suppose you already it's 10 o'clock on Saturday and my video is not over. You pause it there only and then you go for the Mindspark thing. Do the Mindspark worksheet 10 to 10:30, and after that in the evening also you can go ahead with my video and the homework and the classwork, everything. Fine. So by this way we will be able to finish the syllabus and we can revise also, because I am telling you students, in the month of July you are going to have a PT test and that will be 40 marks. So please be careful. You have to study now seriously. Fine. So that is why every day, in fact, I will give you a video. Monday also, Thursday also, and Saturday also. Even we will have a Zoom class, then also we will have. Because I said already on Saturday, even though we have a Zoom class, still I will share you the explanation video in YouTube. Through YouTube. Fine. So students, let us wind up here. Let us meet on Thursday. Thursday we will continue from the 8-digit number. Fine. Thank you.